Wait, comrades and foot soldiers, kindly help me share this message to about 5 to 10 people in your circle. Okay? Why do dictators need a lot of members in parliament? First of all, you need to understand, for a dictator to stay consistent and stable, he has an inner circle of not more than 100 people. Okay? Now, these people have so many layers. There is the innermost circle that involves the family and a few relatives. There is another circle that involves his very close allies. Some of these allies might not actually be fellow countrymen from the country where a dictator rules in. Some of them are beneficiaries of what the country can offer to them for giving assistance, advice, and any support to a dictator. Okay? So these ones act as his foundation. Whenever he needs any monetary support, military, or personnel to do anything, they are also the ones who give him the confidence that as long as a problem happens to you in your country, we shall always have your back. So in these countries, this is where they assure that if anything destabilizes their power, they have a haven of where they can run and hide. Just help me share this message, because if we do not understand how entrenched, how connected, how structured a dictator operates, we might not be able to wholesomely attack them and win. Now, the other circles that they have are collaborators, campaigners, or promoters of what they do. So these people act as a veil, a curtain, or what we call a veneer in politics. So these are meant to rubber stamp decisions that have already been made by the family, the inner circle, and then the supreme-most inner circle that has people like the historicals. That's why you see, these guys will never remove some particular cabinet ministers. The only thing that they will do is to rotate them. Pick them from this ministry, take them to the other. Pick from the other, put to the other one. But they will never remove them. Even if they are to remove them, they maintain them in the payroll as presidential advisors. And they have a lot of influence. They can have orders, they can have access to any information in government agencies or offices. They do anything. They have no roadblock. Now, these other promoters or collaborators or veneers are always picked with connections to the other bigger circles. The bigger circles give recommendations of who they wish to be a state minister where, to be a minister where, to be a DPC where, to be a director, undersecretary, or permanent secretary. It always has to go through them. They have their own people that they recommend. And these are the people who give counsel to the president or any other decision to be made in this country. So many times we might be thinking that Museveni is ruling us alone. No, there are very many. They pull strings without you seeing. Sometimes they do them and the president comes out to deny them, like to make himself look innocent. Yet in actual sense, he's very aware that whatever his inner circle sanctions is meant to keep their grip in power. These people are the most dangerous. You will be there thinking Museveni is aware of the drones. There is one deep state agent whose work is simply to abduct, torture, and kill those who are critical to the regime. Now, When you are mobilizing for such a structured, entrenched movement, you have to be very, very careful and very skeptical in whatever steps that you take. Notifying them about your steps is one of the most dangerous steps that you can ever take as a revolution that is supposed to be non-violent. So as long as we are wishing to be non-violent and we want to win the 2026 election peacefully, let us avoid giving these guys notifications of every plan we have as the National Unity Platform or as a country or as a generation. We need to be very careful because these vineyards are all over. They have actually made them so small. They have decentralized them to even your village. They are PISOs, they are GISOs, they are DPCs, they are RPCs, they are DPCs, they are RCCs, assistant RCCs. These are the people who work to clean the name of a dictator, to promote the work of the dictator. They pretend like they're not aware, but they are the informers, they are the recruiters, they are the collaborators, they are the promoters. Parliament is only meant to rubber stamp a decision that has already been made by the inner circle of a dictator. That is why most of our members of parliament, those who do not support the passing of decisions made already by the inner circle of these people, they are either failed in primaries or party primaries, or they forcefully see how to remove them from influential positions. So they keep them at the background. Members of parliament majorly get money whenever they are passing these budgets, passing these policies, because they are meant to do that. They can't say no because they pay them money, they know they want the money. So they give the members of parliament money up front, even before they bring a supplementary. Ask yourself why opposition members of parliament, independents, are always absent when they are passing these supplementaries. They will never say anything because they have eaten the money already, so they cannot defend the money. So the best is be absent. Let your opinion not be heard and recorded in the answer that you said no. They have made MP so vulnerable that the only avenue they have is to receive that money. So we need to be very careful as a generation of who are we following. I will advise that if you've chosen to stand for the revolution, stay independent to your thoughts. Promote yourself and what you stand for. Don't promote individuals, because you might be promoting an individual who is paid to act as an opposition. Unfortunately, you cannot tell because government will always tolerate them for saying anything. So you might assume that that guy is so strong. Kumbe, behind him, he has a protection from the state to do what he's doing. So as an individual, kindly speak up for what you believe in as an individual. Mobilize for a protest voice as an individual. Don't mix up things. So many of these MPs are meant to do that. Parliament, the judiciary, the police, the anti-corruption coalition, or whatever commission, the human rights coalition, all those commissions are simply meant to give a dictator an international picture that they are democratic, they appreciate human rights, they appreciate EBISIGADDE, but in actual sense, they are simply there as veneers, as curtains, as a cover-up. So the more information we have, the more better. Let's expose these people, because look at the judiciary, look at the commissions, look at every undersecretary or DPC. As long as they are working in a very high influential position, they have a connection back to the appointing authority. Look into them properly. They have had this for a long time. So removing that is going to take us equally a long time. Kindly help me watch this message, finish it up, share it to 2 people or 3 or 4 or 10. And let us pass this message until we see a free Uganda. NUP everywhere. People power is more strong than the people in power.